Today we're going to be going over the Idlestopper install for the 2015 through 2020 Acura TLX. This model's not too bad, straightforward. This is fully plug and play now, so the connections are even easier. And the first thing we're going to do to start this project out is remove this side silver trim. You want to take your pry tool and go in between the shifter assembly and just pop it straight up. There's two clips, one on each end. Let's set that aside. Next thing we're going to do is remove this silver trim. Where it starts to get up in the curve here, there's two extra clips up here. So we're going to want to start down here and start popping up these clips little by little. So once you get one clip up, the rest of it will pop straight up and the whole trim piece will pop off. So there's a total of 5 clips, 2 up on the side. And now that we got that side off, we'll do the other side as well. Okay, now we've got both side trim pieces off. Next thing we're going to do is remove this shifter panel and cup holder assembly. So this is also just clipped in. There's clips on the outer edges. So we're just going to take our pry tool and stick it in here and pop this up, just like that. So the front half needs to come up now. We'll do the same thing on the front and just pop the front corners up. Okay, now we've got the whole shifter panel loose. We're just going to pick it up and kind of lay it to the side a little bit. There is the switch connector underneath the idle stop off switch. You just want to unplug that. It is a white connector, 6 pins. So we want to take that and leave it unplugged. All right, now that we've got the idle stop switch unplugged, we're going to get our idle stopper out of the package. And the next thing we're going to be unplugging is the console power outlet, which is this black connector right there. And you can't see it, but there's a little lock tab on it on the back side. And if you want to know what it looks exactly like the one on your idle stopper because they're the same connector. So to get it loose, you basically have to push in on this tab while you pull it off of the accessory socket here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, now that I've got the connector unplugged from the power socket, we're going to take the idle stopper and open it up. We're going to take this, undo the wire tie. We have 2 black connectors here. This one will plug into the connector that you just unplugged. It's a T shape. It will only fit in one way. And there's going to be a gap of about this much when they are fully connected. The next thing we're going to do is take your package and get a foam strip out, and we're going to cover that gap with the foam strip. That way it doesn't make contact with anything or cause it to short anything out. So we're just going to cover this with this foam tape, just like this. Okay, now that's covered up. And this end we're going to plug back into the power outlet. Remember, it's upside down, so face the clip side down when you plug it in. Okay, now that I've got both ends of the black connectors plugged in, I'm going to move on to the rest of the module and the white connectors. So what we're going to do with the 2 white connectors is take the connector you unplugged from the idle stop switch and plug it directly into the module. Then you'll take your other end that you have left over and you'll plug that into the idle stop switch itself. That will plug straight in back to the idle stop switch. So you'll have both of those white connectors hooked up and both of the black connectors hooked up. Next thing you want to do is just take the excess wire and the module and you can bunch it together. You can zip tie it to the harness that's already under here, or if you want, you can run this down and mount it somewhere in this pad. It really won't rattle. There's really not much under here to rattle with. It's carpet and foam, so it'll be fine down there if you want to just leave it there as well. So instead of putting everything back together right away, we're going to start it up and we're going to test it and make sure it works first. So what I'm going to do is start the car up. We'll just watch on here. After about 5 to 7 seconds, you should see the idle stop light come on. There it is right there. And that way we know it's working. Then we'll come back here and also press the button to test and make sure it turns on and off. Okay, so everything's working well. All right, now we can button everything up and put it back together. And no special reassembly instructions, just reverse how you took it apart.